This is Kyle Olson with Keller Williams here in Fargo. We are talking today about databases. Let's get organized. So appreciate you guys joining me today. We're going to pop in. We're not going to spend a ton of time with all the fun frizz and frazzle and all the showmanship. We're just going to go right through the database here and how we can help you guys keep organized in your database. We were talking about tags today and just a lot of different ways to organize your database. So hope everybody can hear and see me all right. If you can't hear or see me out there, go ahead and send something in the chat on the bottom there. Let me know what's going on. I'll try my best to keep up with those as well. We do have a live audience here in the room as well, so they might be asking some questions. If you have questions, go ahead and ask them as well on the webcast. I'm here for you guys in whatever way I can to help support you in your business and help keep you growing. So with that, we'll go on to the next slide here, and we'll make sure everything's rocking and rolling. All right. So as I said, I'm Kyle Olson with Keller Williams. I'm here to help organize your database and help implement technology. If you have any questions about this webcast, go ahead and shoot me an email right down there. It's Kyle.D.Olson@kw.com. I'll be certainly able to help you guys in whatever way I can. Today we are looking at our contacts. So our contacts right now are probably all over the world, right? Everybody got their contacts all over the world, and they're all confused and jumbled and maybe not even organized and maybe in a shoebox, right? They may be just all completely, we have no clue where they're at, and hopefully they're here right in our office, but maybe they're just scattered all over in these different servers and different things throughout the world. And the goal of this class is to help you bring them together, keep them organized, and get them in one spot. So we're going to start off with a quick poll about your contacts here. If I get my mouse into the right spot, perfect. What was that? If you got your phone, that's all right. I'm not doing the poll on the phone today. So, in fact, fortunately, it won't even show up for the people in the room. So we are going to do it anyways. If you are joining us, the poll is going to be on the side there. Go ahead and hit that one. And for those in the room, the question is, how big is your database? It can be from 0 to shoebox to 100 to 300, 300 to 1,000, or maybe it's full of junk and over 1,000. Anybody have the full of junk and over 1,000? Yep. That's kind of where a lot of databases are. They're either on paper sitting around, or they're, have 300 or whatever. So our goal is to try and get through those a little bit and help you to organize them some more. So without a systematic way to start and keep your data clean, bad data will happen. I'm not going to say his name, but that's the good quote out there. Anybody want to pronounce his name? Dondito. Yeah. Sorry, dude. I appreciate you, but you had a great quote, so I'm taking it. All right. So we're going to try and not have bad data. So our systems and our processes, we're going to break it down into 3 simple steps. We're going to start with tagging our systems. From there, we're going to segment our audience so that we can follow up with them. And then we're going to set up follow-up plans to both make sure we're going through our database and tagging them, and then following up with our clients and finding ways to follow up with them as well. So 3 simple steps, just breaking it down, trying to make it easy for you. And we'll start off right away here with let's get tagging them, color coding them to keep them organized. Here at a lot of the audiences KW, we can color code them within command. In different systems, you can definitely color code them in different ways. We pop up a little color coding chart that I use on mine. So I break mine down into 4 categories, maybe a few more as I continue to grow. The big one is home, information about their home. So I want to know if their home is a 1-story, a 2-story, a bi-level, the types of things that are important to me in my business. Now, if you're not a realtor, if you've got something else going on in your world and it's maybe not important, maybe they like to buy kids' shoes. You're going to be putting one of those as one of your main categories. Next one is going to be work. So I want to know where those people work. What do they do to fill their buckets? What is it that their career is? What kind of, maybe how that might be able to help me. Maybe that might be able to help my clients. Maybe that might be able to help just kind of who they are. I want to know what that is. So I want to have a category named work. Relationship is I want to know where I met them or how I met them. So I want to know if they're family, friends. Maybe they're a friend from Milwaukee when I used to live there. Maybe they're a friend from high school or from college. I want to tag them based on that, so it's easy to find those people and able to figure out where they're at in our relationships. Maybe they're church, maybe they're from a men's group or a women's group. Just different ways to know where I know them from, so it's easy to know what content I'm going to be providing to them as I'm providing them content. And then last but not least is going to be activities. Again, which way do I know them from? Where did I meet them? How did they get into my database? So maybe they're kids' hobbies, maybe they're sports that I'm in, maybe they're different activities that I'm in, whatever that is, past clients, wherever. I want to tag how I've met them in that regard as well. So when we're making these tags, I try to make these easier as I'm going through my database to try and find them so that I can follow these tags. I want to make sure that I've got at least one tag in each of these categories on all of my contacts. That way, I can definitely tell and segment my audience out into which parts are going to be when I'm sending out content to them. So we also, when we're making our tags, screens here. When I make my tags, I actually tag within the tags. And that's a great little tip. So now when we got our home ones, and we're looking at the homes, we got our 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms. We're also adding an H to the front of these. The reason why I put an H in the front of them for the home is because that's going to be my global category of tags. When I'm going through my tags list, I want to be able to see all those home ones right in one spot. If they've all got an H in front of them, they're all going to be in one spot. Easy to select from the list of tags. If they're just 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and then those might be in number order, but then as you get to a rambler or a bi-level, they're not going to be right next to each other. This way, they're right next to each other in the H's. Again, with the work, I'm going to put a work in front of all of them, so if I know that I want to find what career they are, they're all going to be in the W category. Now, these categories can be whatever works for your business better, but for my business, this is kind of how I break them down. My relationships are all with an R in front of them. So I can go through the relationships, and I can pick 1 or 2 that apply to this person, and I know for certain I've got 1 of those, 2 of those in that spot. Now, you'll see as well when we're looking at tags, these tags will start lining up when you're looking on your categories or on your spreadsheets. They'll start lining up because they're in those same alphabetical orders. Activities will be as an A in mine. So we've got H, W's, R's, and A's. Now you can, of course, do whatever ones work for you, but we're going to pop into, I'm going to go a little bit into here and show you how that looks in Google. Any questions on that? Go ahead, Gina. Absolutely. Yep, they'll be recording, will be sent out, and copies of the slides are readily available for you. Not a problem. Yep. Okay. Bear with me as I deal with the technology, wanting to go to the right spot. All right, so Google Contacts here is a great way to keep these tags organized. We're going to go into the Realtors tag here. Sorry, when I can't run the computer at the same time. Should work. Realtor, there we go. Fantastic. So we're going to work within this one here, and I'm going to go ahead and share that for everybody. Hold on one more second. We'll be able to show you guys how this works out on my system here. All right. It's hard to talk and think at the same time. So now you're seeing my realtor tags in here. And what you'll notice is off on the tags on the left-hand side, those tags that we were talking about are now showing up with the alphabetical order in front of them. So if I want to know what activities they are together with me, they're hockey. They do hockey with me for my kids. They've coached. Some of these are tags that are specifically built within Google, so you can't change the coworkers in the family. So that would be just one thing. And then the other ones, we're going to do lists. Lists is another one that I do that I didn't put on this page beforehand. This is going to be really kind of more of a mailer list. So these are people that I send out on a monthly long list. It's mostly everybody in my contacts, unless they've gone through and they've decided they wanted to opt out. So this way, I know exactly that they're going to be on that list. And if they opt out, and if I switch systems, I know that they've opted out from that. So it's an easy way to keep track of that, and it's an easy way if I am switching systems to know who to send out a monthly newsletter to, who would be interested in that piece. So you'll see that when we put those numbers on there, or those alphabet pieces on there, we're seeing them line up nice and easy. Now, the next piece to this is starting to apply these to each person. So if we're in Google here, we want to add a bunch of these. So like this is all of these realtors here. So we've added them. It's gonna be hard for me to do it on the screen here. So we're gonna click one. Up here we can click the select all, and we can select all of these realtors. And now we could say if these realtors are all here, I've got one that says like they're in the Fargo-Moorhead area, and I want to tag them all to that. I can simply click up here, add them all to that tag. We're going down through my tags here, and I should have a in area tag, because I want to know that they all live around here. Where my tag went to that. Here we go. In area. So I know that all these realtors live in the Fargo-Moorhead area. So if I'm sending out something about Fargo-Moorhead specifically, now I know that these people are somebody who might be interested in that information. So it's a very quick way to take an entire group of people and add tags to them that might be able to fit that piece of data to us and be able to then mark it back to that item. All right, we're going to switch back over to the slideshow here. 1 second. Any questions out there on the tagging regards? Anybody have any questions going on so far? Definitely answer those as we're switching back into the slideshow for you. All right, so now that we've got them tagged, we've broken down the tags. Making the tags is one of the big things, making sure you got those tags in there before you start going through database. And you can add them on. Every database system allows you to add a tag when you're going through your contacts. But I find having the list of tags currently in my system ahead of time makes it a lot easier to now know how I'm going to add those tags and have them systemized and having them alphabetical or however where I'm doing them, so I'm not willy-nilly making a tag. Because if I have a tag and that tag only has 1 or 2 people under it, and I've got another tag that's very similar to it with 3 other people, now that data is pretty much garbage. It's pretty much hard for me to understand what to do with those tags and when I'm going to follow through with them. But if I've set up a systemized, organized tagging system ahead of time, it's very easy to tag them based on that. I also like to keep my tags to a point where potentially I could have 10% of my database in one of these tags. Now, I don't want to have a tag that's going to be limited down to where it might be 3 or 4 people. It's going to be hard to do any knowledge to that. Majority of them I want to have 5 to 10 to 15 people so I can identify them and directly market to them. Now, some of the exceptions to that rule might be in the work tag, because I might not have 5% of them being dentists in my categories, but I might want to be able to find my dentist if somebody's asking me for a dentist, be able to pull it up and say, hey, here is a dentist that's in my database, and I can send that to you. So I can provide that value to people. I can provide that value to knowing what they might need. It might not be the 5 to 10% rule, but that's kind of where I try to keep my tags. All right, segmenting them. Breaking it down into sets of people that you can market to a specific time. Might suggest some of the larger hobbies. So again, try and keep with those 5 to 10%. What things are there out there that you could segment your audience to? Some ideas of maybe how you met, what you might have in common, just different ways that you can spread that out into people that you've met, and ways that you can split it up into marketing pieces. And the nice thing about this as well, when you segment it, try to have a this or that type of a segment. So it's either, they're in the Fargo-Moorhead area or they're out of the Fargo-Moorhead area, or they're a realtor or they're not a realtor, or just big ways of having the juxtapositions, because it's easy for you to then market specifically for this or that versus 15 options. Might be another good segmentation in our market would be they might be looking to upgrade, or they might be looking to downsize. Very quick, easy segmentation. So it's you got one or the other, and then you're able to say, okay, if we got upsizing houses, advertise all these upsizing houses to these people. If I want to think about downsizing, maybe the market's changing, I want to market to those downsizing people. Let's hit that one. Next thing is city average age range. Age range is a great one to set up some tags in there if you want to set into, they're in the 30s to 40s. Now, of course, we don't want to be updating these all the time, so we don't want to put their specific age in it. But you can put it in the 30s to 40s. You can put it in the 50s to 60s, or they're my age or my parents' age. Whatever way works for you to have an idea of just kind of how they fit into those pieces. So one of the things I like about that, and we'll get into the organizing the follow-up here, is think about when you segment those things and you're sending out a newsletter. Let's say if you're going in, it's the end of the year for the football season. We have that big game that we can't mention the name of, right? That's coming up at the end of February. But the baseball season's just starting up, right? And so you're sending out a monthly newsletter, and you know that, you've got a lot of kids, parents who their kids are in baseball, so you might want to send them something about baseball, but you might also have some kids who's fans of football, and so you might want to send them something about football. So you could take that same newsletter, and you could just move it front to back as to which one's more important and send it to everybody, but you could have it more specific to those people based on if they're football fans or if they're baseball fans at the same time of the year. But you could make it a little more specific to those people simply by segmenting your audience into a way like that. All right, now we have follow-up. Those of you who are in KW, we're going to talk a little bit more about, we've already talked a little bit about sending out that big newsletter, right, that we could break it down to the football, either, football, baseball, those types of things. We're going to break it down as well here into the categories. So when we break down our follow-up, we can break it down into a 13-week. We take the 26 alphabetical names, we can break them down into 2 of them per week, and we can do 13 weeks. We can do that 4 times a year, therefore contacting everybody in that period of time. But also we can break it down into this period where we can do every 13 weeks. We can go through and we can analyze our database, clean up our database, and help get it organized. So what I suggest is when we're also doing our calls to these people, we can also go through and make sure we're tagging each of these people. Now, the other thing you can do is where there's 26 letters in the alphabet, you could do 1 letter every day just to go through and get it organized. Very easy to quicken database that down, and now you've gone through every letter once a day. Every month, you're getting through those database people and just getting through 1 letter at a time. Now I'm going to show you, we're going to go back and bear with me. I know it's been a lot of switching back and forth. But I want to go back into the database and show you ways to tag people with these alphabetical breakdowns to help you out. All right. So we're back in contacts here, and now this could be whatever database works for you. This is just the one that I use, that a lot of people are familiar with. And now you'll see up at the top here, I've created a tag, and I started these all with 1s, so they'd be up on the top, easy to find. And now I'm going to simply select anybody with a F in their last name. Let's unselect everybody. F in the last name, we're going to add them to a tag. And we're going to add them all to the F tag. Now, when I want to select everybody that I want to call on that week, or if I want to call them on that per day, we're going to be able to find them in my tags. Very simply, we go through the next letter, deselect the other ones, and we can add them into our G tags. Now, you can, of course, you can select multiple if you have multiple of them. I just accidentally merged those 2, so we're going to hit the undo button. Gotta love being able to not see the screen that you're working on, right? All right, so we've added those tags to them. We've broken them down into the alphabetical order. Very easy to have those tags ahead of time. Now, the other quick tip is to go over to your calendar and do the pro model here. Where we're going to go to calendars. We're going to do create a calendar here. create. And we're going to do this called contacts. Oh, we want to create a whole calendar. I'm not going to bore you with my time on it, but you could create a calendar off to the left-hand side here, and you could then take that contacts calendar and you could spread out where you want to call the A's and the W's, and you can put it on your calendar. That way you know for certain you know who to be calling this week, or you know who you're going to be going through the database this day. And now it's on your calendar. Now it's going to happen. So I strongly suggest either making a secondary calendar for that or adding it to your calendar. Just different ways. You could also do a recurring event. So if you want to do it on the first of the month, every first of the month, A and W, and just have that recurring all the way through, whatever works best for your calendar. But add it to your calendar now when you're organizing your database. Will keep you on track to following up with those people. Great way if you want to call them, if whatever way you want to follow up with them, but just really good ways to keep on task with that and follow through. Any other questions on that so far? Bueller? Anyone? All right, we're good. They're still alive. I haven't lost them yet. So very basic information, but I think it's just ways to keep us a little more organized and finding our tags, keeping them organized in our tag system, and keeping on top of them. So we're going to put back to these slides here. All right, so we broke it down into different alphabetical spots. We can then take that data in our Google Contacts, wherever we are at. We can sync those usually via whatever database. There's a very easy sync from Google Contacts over. Otherwise, there's a company out there called PySync, which is very easy to take those labels or those tags and sync them to whatever database that you're working with. For what I've found, most databases with the tags from Google is one of probably the most prominent pieces of data that will transfer over anywhere from front to the other system. So great ways, instead of using custom fields or stuff like that, depending on what kind of data you're putting in there, it's a really easy way to not lose that stuff. The other thing I like to do whenever I'm doing a data sync, before I do that, I add a tag to all of my contacts of where that database information came from. That way, when I'm doing the sync, if something goes wrong and it doesn't load up, I can simply select that entire tag. Maybe it's from Google, select that entire tag and trash that and start again. So it's a very easy way to fully find your entire database, dump it back out, start over again, and so forth. So I'll take that entire database and I'll add a simple one tag to it that says Google Contacts, something like that, so I know where it came from as we're playing with the synchronization. Now, when you're playing with the synchronization, you've got multiple things. You got your data all cleaned up, and you want to get it separated out to all the different systems that you're in. Make sure you try one at a time. And in fact, if you can, when you're synchronizing, try synchronizing just one of your tags. So select one tag that's maybe a smaller one, synchronize that one over, and see what fits best for your business. Make sure everything is in the right spots, notes are coming into the right spots, wherever you're at, so you know that your database is syncing before you sync the entire thing. That'll help you be more organized in those syncs as well. We already added it to your calendar, or it doesn't exist, so go back to that. If you haven't done that yet, do it. Do it now. Get it on your calendar so you can go through these things and you know that you're going to get to it. Because if you're like me, I've been talking about organizing my contacts forever. Finally, I had to have a webcast in order to actually start getting through organizing my contacts. So add to the calendar. It's here. This is what I'm doing in my business. It's important to me, so that's why I wanted to share it with all of you guys. So we are also looking to get organized. You can subscribe to me on YouTube. We're going to go through some more fantastic pieces like this, dropping into your business, what's important to you, how we can help you grow. We've got something easy for you guys on the push the call to action here for you guys to go ahead and hit that. There you go. It should be up on your screen. Go ahead and hit that to subscribe to my YouTube channel. We are adding in there videos all the time, these classes as well as short classes for you. Try and keep on top of any technology for your business. and help you be more efficient within that. As well as starting to offer some individualized coaching and mentorship options so that it'll keep you more accountable as well. So on a group coaching options as well as individual coaching. So you just reach out to me for something you need and we will help you out with that as well. Just Google Kyle Olson Realtor. It's right there. All right. So you can find me, Kyle Olson Realtor FM, on Facebook. You can email me, whatever it is, ways I can help. I'm here for you, and I appreciate you guys coming to the class. Any questions in regards to what we've talked about? Helpful for your business? Straightforward? Gonna get it done in the next week? No. Gonna get it on your calendar in the next week. That's what we were looking for, right? Finding systems to get the tags in there, putting them on your calendar to start going through those tags and getting them organized, because, you're like me, I've got 1,500 contacts in there. There's no way I can get them done today. But if I can start systemizing it and breaking it down to doing one a month, doing whatever it is I need to do, I can move forward with it.
Yeah, I really like the idea of putting it on your calendar, like the system in your calendar so that you don't forget. Because I'm really good at making lists and never following them. Putting them in my purse and then you never see them again. Cat ate them. You just never know.
Yep. What kind of tags are you guys using in your businesses?
Are you using tags?
Are you using tags?
I've got open house tags. I've got like a hockey tag.
Per house? Or what do you do?
If somebody signs up,
okay,
I get their contact information from an open house.
So do you tag it on the house address, or do you tag it just that they're an open house person?
A tag under their name, I guess, so that the idea would be that if I'm going to like call people that I've met or something, then I can just search the open house tag, follow up with them that way.
Okay.
Hockey tag, I got a Bible study tag, like pretty specific, but not like organized, but not super helpfully organized.
Right. I just have like Facebook leads and things like that. Things that were easy to tag, but not necessarily
mine's like
efficient.
Yeah, Facebook tags are easy when they come in. Tag everyone when it comes in. Bing, done, right? But now we got to figure out ways to tag so that we can segment our audience. And
fast client maybe a year.
Yeah, see, that's one thing too. So I've got.
Maybe we'll stay for 2 years or something.
That was one thing from Julia Hurley's class. Is that, so I would do like past clients, but not past client 2019 or whatever.
Like buyer 2020,
2020.
seller 2020.
Yeah.
And then obviously I just move them to like under contract or whatever. What's happening? Close them out as past client ones. Pretty basic. But.
No, I like the.
Yeah.
It seems way more efficient. Like, yeah, it might be more time up front, but in the long run, it's going to help.
yeah. And I really like breaking it down and putting something in front of them. You can do numbers too, whatever works for you, but just putting something in front so you can break that whole chunk down and find them. Because otherwise my tags are hard and there's never a folder of, can't make folders of tags. So it's my way to break it down and be sneaky.
Oh, great. Good info.
Jess, what tags do you use in your business most?
Yeah, mostly just I have not a lot of systems yet. It's under contract, nurture, active. Otherwise, yeah, like past client.
We got a pipeline one too, so if I feel like
Sphere
Okay.
like, what's going on right now, then search the pipeline. Oh yeah, this guy.
like sphere of influence, family, past client, like some are past client and sphere of influence.
What the heck?
Allied resource, and then I might just have seller, buyer. Yeah.
I'm just like, who are we working with right
Yeah.
now? Who's gonna work? I guess what's input.
So yeah, so we had a good amount of different tags here in the room. I hope you guys were able to hear that. Allied resources, seller, buyers, whatever that might be. So, whatever it is that works for your business, go ahead and leave some comments down here. tags that you guys are using in your business, and we'd love to see them and share them with everybody else as well. So appreciate you guys joining us on this webcast, and we'll be back again for another one.
Thanks, Kyle.
You're welcome.